Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be looking at the War of the Rohirrim journal. Now, I know this has been out for a while, but I'm going to do a little bit more of a deeper dive into this so that we can all see it in, I'll say, all its glory, and we can see kind of everything that there is in it. Read through it a few times. I have done the conversion of the Rabid Mummock, which there is a video for. It is either out or coming out very soon, depending on which way the schedules kind of line up and everything. And there will be more of the War of the Rohirrim stuff coming out as well. For example, I've got this box and this box, so they'll be out soon as well. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll go through it. I'll talk through it all from a top-down view so you can see absolutely everything that's in the book as well. Come back and kind of give the final opinions on it, shall we say. That means that you can then see and make the decision yourself on if you would like to get it. So without further ado, let's go to a top-down view and we will see this book. Well, here we go. We have got the Middle-earth strategy battle game, War of the Rohirrim Journal. Now, I understand that obviously my light is going to be across the middle of the screen. You can only just have to deal with it. So I do apologise for the glare, but that is just unfortunately my setup. So obviously we start off with the contents page, which has our introduction that we don't really care about, the campaign, as well as the scenarios, and then the hobby section. This is something that a lot of people are very happy about having, reminiscing of kind of the old days of kind of these books, as well as the, what they call the White Dwarfs. So we then come in, got a lovely piece of artwork, which I don't think I recognise. I think this might be for the book, or kind of at least mashed together, because you've got the hill troll down here, Helm in front of the door, and then kind of you got Hera in front of a what I presume is a fledgling eagle, and Leaf carrying up Helm's what's it called, armour. We then have the introduction, which explains kind of the narrative scenarios, the linked campaign, your painting guides, as well as kind of explain what the hobby guides will be. And then we go into the War of the Rohirrim campaign itself. So this is kind of, if you haven't done one of these before, I plan on doing this for this campaign, and kind of figuring out exactly how this works and how it would work for myself and probably my friend Matthew to play through, so we can make sure that it is linked and everything. But what happens is you play a certain scenario, and depending on if good win or if evil win for the next scenario, you get an outcome, and then you keep on going. So that's how it works. And there is 10 scenarios in this, which starts with to claim a throne. Now, this one here is, what I will say, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the film, I will be spoiling things in this video, and if you haven't seen the film, go watch it, because you really should. But this is the scenario where Helm punches Freka, who we have here, big fat man, and kills him in a single punch, gaining the name Helm Hammerhand. Played on a 1x1 with your 1 inch in the centre, and it is just Helm Hammerhand, who doesn't have that name yet, King of Rohan, and then Freka, Lord of the West March. Now obviously we've got our objectives, our special rules, and the likes there. Then we go on to a new threat on Rohan's borders. Now this is the reason that I've built this Mummock. It is the only scenario that you can have this model in. It's played on a 4x4 with Hera, as well as these models, video to come, against a single Rabid Mummock, which, luckily enough, this book does show you how to do it. as does my video. So I can't wait to play this scenario. It's probably the one I'm most excited about. And obviously you've got the layout and the special rules, the rule of the beast of the lake, or beast in the lake, sorry. I'm wanting to potentially actually have a watcher in the water on this board, but we'll see. An enemy revealed. So this is then when they are when Hera has been captured and is in Isengard. You then have the camps of the Dunlendings and everyone kind of coming to save Hera as best as they can. There's not too many models. It's actually played on a 3x3, which is obviously a strange board size. Probably not more strange than a 1x1, but normally we play on the 4x4, such as here. So the Plains of Edoras you have got here. Lots and lots of warriors of Rohan, as well as the wildlings and everything here. And it's just possibly, I think, the biggest from this game, because you've got to have 72 hill tribesmen as well as 3 war mummoks and the warriors on top. Unfortunately, they are just standard warriors of Harad that are on here, including ones with spears. I've never understood that, but fine. And actually it's only 6 warriors that are on them, so they are trying to make them look more like the War of the Rohirrim ones, which don't have the big howdahs like seen in the picture that the Lord of the Rings ones do, but it's still not really the same. Lord Thorn's betrayal. So you've obviously got Lord Thorn in here, which is Hera and Leaf, as well as a couple of Rohan warriors, against Thorn and a couple of Rohan traitors, warriors. This book does show you how to distinguish between the two of them in a painting guide later on, so it's not a bad thing at all. Streets of Edoras. This one is played on a 4x4. This one is played on a 2x2. There you go. This one is played on a 4x4 for the Streets of Edoras. And this one has got a bunch of warriors and everything. It's only got 36 hill tribesmen and 1 war mummock, so it's not as many. If you've seen the film, you'll know why it's only 1 that arrives there, but it is an absolute cracking scenario, I think, and I do want to, like I say, I want to play through these all, but there's some that are calling out to me a little bit more. Edoras burns. So this is then where Edoras is effectively starting to be abandoned because the Dunlendings have, the hill tribesmen have come in. You've obviously got your burning houses here, which again shown later in this book. This hobby content is absolutely phenomenal. Played on a 4x4. Wrath of the Hammerhand. So this is a 2x2 where Helm goes through and essentially just kills a load of people. 1 hill tribesman chieftain, as well as 24 hill tribesmen. He's just essentially got to kill them all and go through them. So it's not... it seems outnumbered, but it's not a bad scenario from what I can gather. Then got Beast of the Long Winter, which is Hera and Helm versus Shank, Rot, and the Snow Troll. So Billy Boyd, Dominic Monaghan, and a Snow Troll. Played on a 2x2. A couple of special rules and armed and caught unawares. It's a very quick and simple scenario, I think, to play, so it's not a bad thing. Then onto the last stand of Helm Hammerhand, and we start to get a little bit more models again, but we are just with Helm and Hera. But it's Wolf, General Targan, 24 hill tribesmen that's chasing them essentially back to Rohan. And what I like, back to the Hornburg. What I like here is that they have the old Helm's Deep walls. They're fantastic, and I wish they did reprint them, but they're not, unfortunately, at least not as of current. Played on a 2x2. And then we come over to the fate of Rohan. So a 4x4, and we start to get lots more of the Rohirrim in here. There's 24 Riders of Rohan, as well as a bunch of heroes against 60 hill tribesmen, as well as, like I say, a bunch of heroes. Oh, there we go. And I think this is the second biggest scenario that's played. It's on a 4x4. We don't actually go past these, and there we go. So this one here that they're showing off, sorry, that was the last scenario. That's scenario number 10. This one here is it Edoras Burns, was it called? Plains of Edoras, here we go, yeah, with 3 war mummoks. They only show 2 of them here, and by the looks of it, they do actually have the correct number of Harad warriors up there. I want to do something different. I want to get some proper Variags, something up there instead. But then we go on to the hobby section, and this will be showing us how to make, build, paint various parts that are useful in these scenarios that we've just looked at. So we've got the destruction of Edoras, which is showing us how to make burnt out Rohan houses, and it's obviously using Games Workshop's plastic kit, which you 100% obviously do expect because they want to sell you this kit, but then they're showing you with balsa wood how to change it from the beautiful Rohan house into this burnt out thing, and it's just a very nice thing that they have taken into these or into this journal book again, which we haven't seen in goodness knows how long. Hill Tribesman Encampment. So this is obviously for your hill tribes. Now this does bring in a couple of different sets of things. So effectively just starts off as your balsa wood and various grits and all that sort of stuff. But you use the bell from one of the Rohan watchtowers, and you've obviously got a couple of barrels just down here. But if I can pull this up, hopefully show you. It's great, I'll do it this way. This is from the Lake Town house kit, which I think is real funny that they're showing off using Lake Town stuff. I think it's just a nice way to kind of do things and everything, but yeah. We then come on to the Rabid Mummock section, and this is essentially what I have used as a Bible to create this model that you see here, and this goes over a couple of pages, obviously with the painting of the mummock as well as just the conversion. Absolute fantastic, really enjoyed it, and I've painted mine exactly kind of how they've suggested here. I don't think I have done anything extra. I've just made the base slightly different in the sense of putting grass tufts and the basing material effectively that I use. We then come on to the painting guide of the Rohirrim warriors. Now this just kind of shows you the basic standards of how to paint beards and the shields and skin tones that you can use, as well as some of the horse tack, the horses themselves and the likes, and it shows you obviously different colour schemes that they have. But this is then when the actual colour schemes come into place. So you've got Lord Thorns of the Wold, which this is your traitor Rohan just here, and then you have things like Freelaughs and Grimhere, Fat Fright of the Westfold, Prim of the Fold, and then Lord Everbrand of the Estiment, wherever that is. So different colour schemes, shows you what to do for essentially their accents, so their cloaks, their shields and the likes for this, just so you can determine who's who. So obviously this one is probably the most important to distinguish from all the others. We then go on to the Hill Tribesman, where we show how to obviously deal with cloth, fur, and a different option for fur, because they are essentially just covered in different cloth and different furs. Garters, fire, which I think is pretty cool. and they've actually got fire the right way round, with the hottest bit being on the brand. That's not a normal thing that you see in miniature painting. Normally they flip the colours so the hottest bit is at the top, but I'm very glad that they've done it like that. We've got various other details, and then obviously some basing tips down the bottom. And then we come to just the picture at the very end of the book. Nothing more to be said about this. Again, I think this is definitely artwork that I haven't seen before. This might be from the films, but it looks a bit different, so I don't think it is. So it's just one of these things. But yeah, that's the book. We then have obviously the back, which you can see there, the lovely picture of Helm Hammerhand going along with the kind of description at the back. So without further ado, what we will do is we will go back to a face shot and discuss the last little bits of this. So that's everything. So there you go. We have now looked through the War of the Rohirrim journal, because it's not a book. We've had a look at all the scenarios, kind of campaign that you get, as well as obviously the hobby sections. Specifically, my favourite bit, obviously, being the rabid mummock. So you can now go and make an informed decision, shall we say, on if you should be picking up this book. Now my answer is yes, because you should be supporting your Hobbit hobby, or your Middle-earth SBG hobby, I should say, but that is obviously up to yourself and how you would like to keep this community going, giving back to the community and the likes. Now, there's nothing really more for me to say because you've seen it, you know my thoughts on things. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think you should actually go out and buy it, but obviously that is up to yourself. If you do want to buy it, then obviously you can use various links down below to hopefully save you some money, maybe give you a kickback to myself, Paints on a 4-up, whoop whoop. And yeah, it would be absolutely fantastic if you could do that. But I like this. I'm hoping that I can go through the campaign. I need to paint up 78 hill tribesmen or whatever it is, so that is going to be a task and a half at some point. But certainly my plan is to go through it, and I need to paint up at least one more mummock, if not two, preferably two. We'll see. So yeah, all that's left for me to say is, I suppose, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate you being here, obviously. And if you could like, comment, subscribe, follow me on everywhere, then that would be very much appreciated. But I suppose go check out the videos for obviously Helm and Freylaf and the likes. They will be up on the channel. Go check out the Rabid Mummock video, because that should also be up on the channel about now. And thank you very much for watching. Other than that, take care and bye-bye.